I thought today was practice 6. It was our third in a row, and I thought possibly that the guys might hit the wall today. My experience says that this might be one of those type of days. We talked about it last night. We talked about having the poor me's. Guys get up and I'm a little sore, coach. My coach doesn't like me. The coach is always yelling at me. It's too hot. So we talked about it last night. We talked about it this morning, and so we confronted it, and guys really pushed through today. It was an enthusiastic practice. Guys were into it. It was physical. Guys ran around. We were on time. Those guys really stepped up today and got a good day's work in and pushed through. And that's what we're going to have to do day in and day out. We don't have a day to waste. So it was a good solid day's work for us.
Mel, did the defense respond? You kind of said you were hoping to see that today.
Yeah, it was very competitive, and it went back and forth today. And so that was good to see. Our guys are competitors, and they have pride. But it really comes down to technique and fundamentals and execution, and it's along with the want to, and our want to factor on both sides of the ball is high. But I thought the defense did respond, and it's important to them, and so I expect it to be a back and forth every day. That's what we want.
You said you're starting to see the running backs, maybe the offense in general, just establish a bit of an identity. Is that the case with the defense as well? Are you starting to see that from them too?
We're working on that. We're really working on emphasizing takeaways, stopping the run, playing fast, not giving up big plays. And so as our guys are getting more comfortable with our schemes and our communication, I see that we're starting to get more confidence as we go, and we're starting to get more takeaways, make more plays on the ball. Run defense was slightly better today, and we'll just continue to work.
Mekhi Blackman's not the biggest guy out there, but he seems to be buying into the playing physical football. He doesn't shy away from any contact with anybody, whether it's a visitor, one of the running backs, one of the tight ends. How do you look at his play?
Well, I really like his toughness. He is, like you said, he's not the biggest guy, but he's a willing tackler. He's contact tough, and he's gotten better. He may be one of our most improved players from the spring. He plays inside at the star position. He plays corner. He's one of those guys he's really fun to coach. He asks a lot of questions. He's got a lot of confidence, and I challenge him, and we challenge him every play, every day. And he's responded so far. He keeps getting back in the fight. So I have a lot of respect for him.
Do you want to have a backup quarterback established in camp, or is that something that could kind of go into the season a little bit?
We'll see. That's too early to tell, but it's going to be what it's going to be. Obviously, we want to have as much depth at that position as possible. We've got 4 guys on scholarship that are more than capable of going out there and getting the job done, and so we'll just see how it shakes out.
How would you kind of compare Stan and Tyler and what they bring to the table?
I really prefer not to compare those guys because they're different players, but they're both working really hard to do what Coach Johnson wants them to do. Run a good show, do a great job communicating, checking plays at the line, taking care of the football, getting rid of the football on time.
How's Davion doing with this progression of in pass coverage and covering some of those slot receivers that he was telling me the other day? That's been a struggle for him.
Well, he seems to be more confident than he was in the spring. He's more comfortable with the techniques. His eye discipline has gotten a lot better, and his technique is more sound than it was. And so, as you know, he's got the speed to do it. It's just really a matter of technique and fundamentals. And so, he's really made progress in terms of his coverage.
Jonathan Van Dies built some momentum for himself in the spring. Has he been able to build off that this fall?
I believe so. He works so hard. He's got great toughness. His want to. It's just his care factor is just really just through the roof. And he's competing. He wants to play, and we have competition at that position. He's going to give us everything that he has. I'm glad that he's on our team. You need to have guys like that on your team, and he does an excellent job on special teams. he goes as hard in the special teams drills as he does on defense. And I have a tremendous amount of respect for players that go about their business that way.
He said he grew his hair out because he likes the way it looks hanging out of the back of his helmet. How about you? Do you like the way that looks?
I haven't noticed that. Maybe I'll take a look at him tomorrow when we get back out here. But I don't know, does he have a mullet or what is he?
Well, he said his hair's not as long as Brady's, but that's what he's shooting for.
Yeah, I'm not as focused on the length of the hair right now. As long as he keeps playing hard and working to get better, I think we'll be fine.
Was there anybody at practice today in particular who stood out to you?
I tell you what, I keep seeing Daniel Arias every day make plays, like every single day. I mean, he whether it's blocking, short throws, intermediate deep balls, he plays fast. He does a good job in the special teams work. He's been very impressive. Steven today with his deep balls, I thought he threw some beautiful deep balls today, and I mean, it's just I love to see him spin that rock the way he does. And we just have so many guys that are competing and getting better, on both sides of the ball. It's really good to see, and I'm excited about this group. This is a really fun group to coach, and they take coaching, and our coaches are very hard on them. They challenge them, they confront, they demand, and we push them with the tempo of the practices. And there's no let up, but they keep fighting, they keep pushing through, and I'm starting to see leadership. I'm starting to see guys come together, and like I said, today was a day where they could easily, maybe taken a step back from an effort standpoint and felt sorry for themselves because of the way we're pushing, but they didn't do that.
Is it rare for a first-year head coach? It seems like after every practice you have seemed to be pretty pleased with the team's effort and performance. Is it rare for a new coach in fall camp to feel that way about his team for this many practices in a row?
I don't know. I just know how I feel about the guys, and if I didn't feel that way, I would tell you. There was a practice that we had in the spring coming off the weekend that was subpar, and I told them that, and I told you guys that, and I'm not telling you guys anything that I'm not telling them, and so if they do a good job, I have no reservations about telling them that you did a good job. Sometimes you may feel like if I tell a guy he's doing a good job, he's going to relax, but I don't really believe that. I believe that when they do it right, you got to tell them that they're doing it right, and they can gain confidence from that and be energized. And when they're not doing it right, you confront, you demand, you teach, and they can respect that, and they know that it's either right or it's wrong. And so they know the message from the coaching staff is if they tell us we need to pick it up, we need to pick it up. If they tell us that we're doing a good job, then we need to understand why we did a good job and build on that.